kind of wear a wife beater on this podcast? Let me
I
go
guess.
put an actual shirt on. Hold on.
It was fine until you called it a wife beater.
Well, that's what they're called. Whatever. I'll be white trash today.
That's fine. You don't
Okay.
have a white one with a stain on it. Or like
No,
a
I
cigarette
don't.
burn on the front of it. So I think you're all right.
Yeah. I don't have any camel wides with me right now.
Hey, everybody, it's Doc. Welcome to the Modern Boomer Podcast. It is season 2, episode 4. It is a balmy July 2023. It's raining
Balmy
like
for
every
you.
other day here. How is it there?
Dry and hot.
Is it really dry?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like
Colorado?
a swamp.
Of course Colorado's dry.
Yeah, I guess so.
Humidity here is a luxury.
Don't you guys have like these periods where it's like really wet and you get a lot of precipitation and then it just goes away and then it's dry?
Yeah, but I think the thing to remember in like mountain humidity, the dew point is still really cold. Like, you know what I mean? 70% humidity in Florida does not feel like 70% humidity in Colorado. And I'm sure there's a weather guy out there who's like, you're an idiot, but they just feel different to me because the dew point in Florida is 70 degrees. The dew point in Colorado is like 40 degrees, right? And even, I don't know how to explain it, but something there, something about that, maybe air pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is because we do have high humidity from time to time, but it never feels like Houston or the Gulf or any of that. Well, Houston is on the Gulf, but that whole Gulf region of humidity, it's not the same.
So what do you like better, Colorado heat or
Colorado,
Texas heat?
Colorado. Texas is cheap to live in. And I mean, everything's cheaper. The groceries are cheaper. Gas is cheaper. Living is cheaper. There's no income tax. There's a lot of things that make Texas cheap to live. But at the same time, it's a little podunk, for sure. So
yeah.
But
how often are you traveling back and forth? How many trips have you made?
Oh, geez. 4 trips now, 4 or 5 trips, but I'm done. I can't afford it. And actually it's been a bit of an up and down. I was going to move out there and then I wasn't. And then I looked into it again and then no, I decided against it. But since finances have been really stretched for me with everything that's been going on, and the apartment I live in now in Colorado, it's extremely expensive. And if you have 2 incomes, it's not a problem. But I don't need 1,200 some square feet townhome with attached garage. I don't need that. And then so like finding cheaper living here, even if I get a studio apartment, I'm going to pay what I would get for a 2-bedroom in Texas. So I think I may still go down there for 8 months to a year just to live cheap and safe. That's the big key. Like in Colorado, you could live dirt cheap, but it's not safe. You're going to live in Federal Heights or off Colfax or something. And, you have to have crackheads knocking on your window at 2 a.m. But, you can live in some podunk towns in Texas that are very safe for dirt cheap, and they're quality places. So I'm tempted to exercise that process for 8 months to a year just to get fiscally caught up. It's not that I can't afford this place. It's just that I have so much on top of me, and I keep you ever had that feeling where you take 2 steps forward and then you take 4 steps back? You know what I mean?
Too much. I know that.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at right now. Fiscally, I'm at the point where I keep paying things off, but because I'm paying those off and other things aren't getting handled, so then they go back. So I only have a couple months left in here. And then I think I'm going to go out and live somewhere cheap for a while, just get everything handled in an 8-month window, year window. And then I can come back to Colorado fresh and ready to go. So,
and you guys will be moving together as it currently stands?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
That's the plan. Yeah. I mean, it's helpful. I mean, it's, even in the fiscal set up, it makes it even cheaper, to me, I just want to get my debts managed. I don't like fiscal stress.
Me too.
Money stress is the worst stress to me. And this is the first time in my life where I've been so fiscally stretched and stressed out that, first time in my professional career. Let me rephrase that. My first time in my professional career where, going grocery shopping, it's like, do I really need that? Do I need to get that? Should I get that? You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah.
It's a weird feeling.
I was like that, but with my divorce, I was like that for years. And it was like, I had to give between alimony and child support, I was giving, I think, like 6,000 to 7,000 a month, and I still
Right.
had to live. And that's
Yep.
that's a tough pill to swallow. And like, as I was dealing with that, it was like, let's refinance the house. Let's change to a cheaper cell carrier. Let's refinance the car. You know, let's get this bill paid off so we don't have to worry about it anymore. And always with the finish line in the future, right? That like alimony will be done October of this year, of whatever year it was, and I got to make it to that,
Right.
and then things will be much better.
Yeah, the finish line you could see it, but sometimes I feel like no matter how much I run towards it, like I'm not getting any distance.
It's
like
moving away.
yeah, it feels like it's moving away. It's a never-ending hallway in a sense.
It's like Mario Kart, and everybody keeps throwing bananas at you.
Yeah, seriously. But giving up this place, I'll regain about $3,000 a month in expendable income by getting rid of this apartment, and that's including rent costs at the next place. So with that kind of income, I can really recover. And I live fairly cheap. I mean, I have my expensive electronics and stuff like that, but great value is good with me. I buy the cheaper stuff. I don't need anything crazy. So I'm happy with what I have. I don't need anything else. I would like no fiscal stress. That's what I really want. So.
Yeah, I'm the same way. My son, like, I used to play these tricks on him. I'd go and buy like Walmart potato chips, and I put them in the Lay's bag, and I like wrap it up, and I just put it back on the shelf, and like eat it, and be like, "The hell's this?" And I'm like, "They're Lay's." He goes, "No, they're not.
They're Lay's.
They taste the same." And they're like, "No."
What a snob! Enjoy your great value chips.
Right, man.
That your dad bought for you.
You're lucky you have chips.
No shit. I hate to sound like the guy. I walked up both ways to school up hills with no shoes, but I did grow up dirt poor. I had like a great appreciation for, $10 is a lot of money.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It is. That's why I eBay all my old crap, because even my wife's like, I'm like, you have like 4 iPhones in your drawer. Just sell them.
I know.
They're worth like probably $1,000. Like that's not a little bit of money. I don't know.
I got a couple too I need to sell. Some of them are damaged, but I bet you I could still get a couple bucks out of them.
Could.
You know what I mean?
You could.
I should do that.
There's a guy in Northeast Pennsylvania. And he is, in theory, one of the like mob bosses of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
That's the rumor. I don't know how true it is, but that's the rumor. But he started by, if there's not another podcast, you know where I went.
Okay. Deal.
He started, apparently, like, he was dirt poor. He got he used to buy cars, busted up cars as a kid. He like basically parted them out, sold them, made more money than what he paid for the car, rinse and repeat. And lo and behold, someday he's got a junkyard, and now he's like this huge guy who's a multimillionaire. He has buildings named after him. He's basically doing anything in the world he wants to do. He owns a casino in the area. He's just and he built himself up just by having humble means and understanding the value of money. And he never lost that.
I think that's something people like. You can't make money you got to spend money and make money, but you don't make money by wasting money, right? And almost every wealthy person I've ever met buys cheap shit to live off of. And they don't care. They have nice cars maybe, or like some nice liquidable assets or so, but nobody needs like ultra super puffy rolls of toilet paper.
That's right.
Like the normal 2-ply is just fine, you
get the Scott brand, man. It's like tracing paper. You could see through it. You could read.
Yeah. Fold it a couple times, call it a day, so I that's the goal, the goal. Let's live cheaper, especially in today's economy.
Oh,
God, everything is so expensive right now.
It's killer.
Do you remember when a gallon of milk's like $4.50? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, where did we take the wrong right turn
I don't
for
know.
$4.50 gallon of milk?
You can go right down the line and blame so many people. It ends at the president. It starts somewhere else.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. I that's the whole reason why, like, I pay like $80 a month for my internet. I cancel my cable. I use like Apple TVs for all my stuff.
Yeah, same.
And it's 80, not $350 for cable. It's like $80.
No, I mean internet. I have fiber internet, 1 gig symmetrical, $70 a month.
That's awesome. I wish I can get that.
It's hard to, Xfinity's like, will you come back? No, absolutely not. I will not come back.
Who's your provider?
CenturyLink.
Nice. You use their modem or did you buy your own?
I just use my router with WRT in it or whatever, because with CenturyLink it's PPoE. So you just have to, you plug in the Ethernet cable from the terminal end where the fiber comes in and the ends in the terminal box, whatever the fuck it's called. The Ethernet cable that comes from that, you just plug that into your router. You make sure that it has your PPoE credentials, and bada bing, bada boom.
Done.
1 gig up, 1 gig down.
That's awesome.
Let me take care of this wild animal real quick.
Sure.
Got the zoomies. Like,
Yep.
in a minute we record, he's got the zoomies. Not all day.
Yeah.
Not any other point of the day. Just right now, it's got the zoomies.
I was gonna say it's probably like laid in the corner all day until you freaking hit the light on that microphone.
Yeah,
like, let's go.
Oh, you better just sit right back down. Hey, Boog Loki, he's getting some training. The Mrs. She rescued him, basically an abandoned puppy, and he's got some traumas. He was very much neglected and had some issues, so she coddled him a bit, and he doesn't have a lot of impulse control. And I raised Mishka, and I did a lot of learning how to train dogs. I'm no professional, but I've been working with him on impulse control, and he's really susceptible to it. But it's been a bit of a battle, because all animals are like toddlers.
Yeah.
Like they listen when they want to. You have to, like, the consequence has to be greater than the reward. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't believe in like shock collars. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. Don't put your hands on your animal. A spank in the butt's one thing, but nothing else, right? But stern tone, consequence with a stern tone, that's discomforting, but reward with a good treat and happy talk is in the, you know what I mean? It works. It just takes time. It starts to click, but we're getting there.
I think that's why I'm more of a cat person. Because we just went to Delaware. My friend has a shore house there, and he brought his boxer, and they're kind of like high energy dogs.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah.
And like, I'm not used to it, because first of all, I'm allergic to them.
They're in your face,
oh
and
my
they're
God,
smelling you. And you're like, dude, space, personal space.
And the dog freaking hates me. Every time I look at the dog's like staring at me across the room. It's like, oh.
You gotta assert that dominance, dog. You gotta stare him back and give him the fucking, I'll eat you.
Yeah.
I have thumbs and you don't.
Opposable thumbs for the win.
Loki is a border collie. He had his DNA thing done. I saw this. She's like a border collie, something retriever, and like wolf was actually on there. So he's super submissive, but when I first got him, because he'd been with my girlfriend. He's the only man really in her life. She has not had a lot of boyfriends over the years. I think 4 or 5 at best. So he's not had a lot of male interaction. So when I first came in that home, him and I were just like staring each other down. He was like that kid that doesn't want the stepdad, he was just kind of giving me the looks. And it was pretty funny, because him and I definitely dick measured like the first week there, and I was like, every time I'd go up to hug her, he'd get in the middle. He'd be like, what are you doing? What's going on here? Hey, it's distance, space. So I was like, bro, go lay down, get away from me. But no, I'm a cat guy too. Yeah. I prefer cats, and I'm sorry, dog people, but I think cats are way cleaner of an animal too.
And you can go away. You can just go away for a weekend and it's fine.
Yes. God, I've left my cats for a week. Now it hurts. I miss them because I am an animal lover, but I'd come back. I have like a camera, like a Amazon Blink or whatever the heck it is. I can check on them. But like, I fill them full of food and water, make sure their cat boxes are clean. I come back and everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little pissed off.
Yeah, my cat Moo is usually like, "Where the fuck have you been?" Like she's up in my business, you know. Um, but yeah, I know I find them to be cleaner and they don't have any sort of dog smell. I mean, I know my cats, they smell like whatever my bed smells like. So, you know, whatever the detergent and lavender sprays and stuff like that. So they smell good. They're always soft. And is weirdly enough, I feel like this is kind of cringy. When a cat gives love and attention, it's got so much more meaning behind it because dogs give it so easily.
Right.
They're always so up in your business and they're so excited to be with you. But if a cat gets up there and snuggles you, it's a connection in my mind. So
Yeah.
I'm a cat guy through and through.
Yep.
It is what it is.
My cat loves my wife and me and fucking hates everybody else. We have a cleaning person who comes. We have a cleaning person who comes once every 2 weeks, and literally she calls them. She can't speak English, but she calls them El Diablo.
And, El Diablo.
Yeah, and it's like the cat. Like as soon as freaking someone comes to the door or something, the cat's like,
"This bitch,"
giving the stink eye. Like get the fuck out. Like what are you doing here?
This is my castle.
This is my
house. The hell are you?
We have a party, and the cat's in the middle of the kitchen. You have to walk around the cat. Like, you know, usually like cats will like run away and they get scared.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my house. I'm sitting right here. And you got to like walk around him. It's like
that's
20
a confident
people.
Cat.
And the cat's right in the middle of the room. And he's like, I'm not moving.
How long have you had him? Since he was a kitten?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had him so early that when I brought him to the vet, I wasn't sure how old he was. I brought him to the vet. They're like, this cat probably should still be nursing. But let's see if he eats. And he ate. And I'm like, all right. They're like, yeah, you can take him. So
that's what Luna and Moo were like. They were like their eyes just opened when we got them because mom died and they were abandoned. And so the same thing, they were so tiny. But now they're all I know for the most part. They're all I know. I'm all they know, better said.
Right.
And Buddy is the one I took from my friend or whatever. And they'll just lay whatever the fuck they want. They don't give a shit. You know? Right. Water cups are communal water cups, you know. I'm like, Luna, get out of my water. She's like, no, it's fresh and cold. Unlike my grungy bowl. I'm like, I just cleaned it. Like, why do you got my water?
My bowl has like 6 pieces of Meow Mix sitting at the bottom of it.
They do, because Buddy has a problem. He puts his food in his fucking water, and I looked into it. Like some cats do that. Some cats put their food in their water. That's like the way they eat it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Like soggy cereal.
Oh, yeah, that's how he likes it. It's I don't know. I love all animals. I really do. I love dogs too. Don't take me wrong. I like the protective comfort of a dog. I know that if I leave a dog with the missus, that I know he'll make noise and bark and bite, and if he needs to, and that's comforting.
Right.
And dogs tend to feel a little more personable, like people in a home, than cats do. But I love my cats. I always be a cat guy through and through.
Yeah.
So
speaking of,
I'm not a litter box fan.
Speaking of, right, exactly. Speaking of, you know, pets that don't give a shit. My son, who's not a pet, but doesn't give a shit. If you guys all have kids,
I remember that age.
No matter how young, like you think they're difficult. By the time they're almost an adult, like they're kind of at the crux of like pushing the limit, testing you.
They think they're invincible.
Right. Doing exactly what you don't want to do. So I'll tell you what happened. I get a call from my ex on July 5th, which is my birthday.
Oh, God.
She goes,
it's always a call from the ex.
Yeah. And she goes, did you talk to your son? And I'm like, no, why? He's like, well, I got a call from the police at 1:30 in the morning.
Oh, no. Oh.
And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. So apparently he was like at a party.
Okay.
And the party had a bunch of people his age. And one of the people that was there was one of his ex-girlfriends who he does not get along with. Like at all. Like
bad divorce. Okay.
They're like hard, like very, very bad relationship.
Toxic.
I've never had that. Like I've had
Toxic.
Like quiet and you stay away, but this is like a problem. So apparently, you know, he was in a car with people and she went up. This is what I'm being told, at least. He went up to talk to them, saw he was in the car, and then it got real uncomfortable and it got odd. And when they were going away, when they were driving away, somebody, and my son denies doing it, somebody threw a firework out of the car, to which exploded in their general vicinity. No one got hurt. And I think it was really stupid. But this is what, for any man, young to like any age.
Listen, everybody, this is good
advice.
Important.
Listen. Like, it is very easy to create a narrative of an assault, of physical assault, verbal assault, sexual assault. You can. It's all like, if you talk to a lawyer, they say, and this is the worst, I hate this word from lawyers, it's optics. No, it either happened or it didn't. It's optics. But they use the word optics to say, I thought the firework was thrown at me because he doesn't like me, and that's assault. And now I feel uncomfortable. So now I'm going to call the police.
Right.
So, luckily I talked to the cops, and he's not 18. So, and the family didn't want to, like, they didn't realize they never done that before. And the mom came to my house and knocked on the door.
But what the fuck are they going to like, do you have proof? It's not about what you say. It's about what you can prove in court.
You're right. You're right. And but the point is like, I would rather forego all that and just say, just freaking stay away from each other. Don't act like big balls. And just.
Did he actually throw it, or was it his friend?
No, he said he didn't throw it. But I mean, did he or didn't he? I don't know. Who knows?
Who gets upset about a firework?
People.
It's probably like a black hat or something.
People who, don't like you and maybe want to make trouble for you.
It's always women. Sorry, it's a joke. It's a joke, but it's also kind of not. Men aren't as what's the word? Men aren't as deceitful, I think, in revenge. Like, I feel like, male revenge is not as emotional, or we don't want to ruin your life.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. I think our attention span is too short for that. I think we're like on to the next thing in life.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth the energy. But I've had so many girlfriends who they would summon, seven lesser keys of Solomon or whatever, bring demons from the hells to like ruin my life if they could,
Right.
And I've never understood that.
A lot of grudges.
But men fight with their hands and women fight with their words. It's always how that's been.
Mm-hmm.
So stay away.
Yeah.
Don't give them a reason.
Yeah. Don't give people a reason, because, I don't think anybody in that car is looking to hurt people. But the point is like, how it all depends on how the narrative is. I don't feel safe and blah, blah, and then all of a sudden it's a problem. But like, if you're over 18, like, and someone says that, and luckily my son is not over 18, like that's an arrest.
So now, is this under the rug?
What's that?
Is it? Oh, go ahead. Finish.
It's an arrest, whether you get charged for it, successfully remains to be seen. But that might require a lawyer. That might require a lot of money. But the point is, you still have an arrest on your record. And you have to explain that for life. Because just about every application you ever fill out is like, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been involved in this? Have you ever done this? Have you ever done that?
I don't know if a cop would arrest him if she just like, I think he did. They're not going to arrest him on an I think.
I hope not.
They'd have to be outstanding proof. You know what I mean? I'd be really surprised if a cop showed up at your house and I need to arrest your son because some girl said that she thought he threw a firecracker in their vicinity. You know what I mean? I think it was weak sauce, to be honest with you. But the point is that there are people out there who keep grudges and want to like destroy your life. And I've seen this in the medical legal battles. Like a lawyer once told me, like, don't think that anyone is ever on the other side will ever feel bad for you. They will stab you in the throat and walk over your dead body and not
think twice.
It's a dog eat dog world.
It is. So, moral of the story is don't do stupid shit.
So I'm guessing it's all handled now, though.
Oh,
It's all
yeah.
swept under
No,
the
the
rug.
cop was really cool. He was very nice. And he's like, listen, he's like, I talked to them. They don't think he was actually trying to hurt anybody. But the point is that like, if they want to keep pushing that, then it has to be at least investigated.
Right.
And then it causes problems. But, everybody kind of said, listen, we're just going to all go our separate ways. And that's going to be the end of it.
What'd the mom say?
She was nice. She was nice because she actually came over the house when they actually went to a prom together. But I guess, they had in the past talked to my ex, and they were kind of unhappy with how that went.
Welcome to the club.
so they're like, let's try the dad. So they knocked on the door. She was nice. She's just like, listen. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I don't think my son has never been in a fight. He's never been violent, but he is a ball buster. I'll tell you that. So, and I don't like the company he keeps sometimes, but hopefully, when he goes to college, all that'll change.
We all had shitty friends.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. You mirror the company you keep usually.
You do. Well, they put you, it's not even about, it's just they put you in they help you get in environments you shouldn't be in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're gonna, because they're comfortable in those environments doesn't mean you're gonna be comfortable or succeed in those environments. Because I do have a juvenile record and I didn't do shit. Like to this day, even on the statements, everything else, I didn't do shit because I was there, because I didn't call the police. I had a lot of shit under my belt, and it took me a long time to get that stuff. It was a deferred sentence, so I was found not guilty. But everything else, to get it expunged and sealed and everything like that, was absolute monumental amounts of work. And it affected me various points.
Right. So it's better just not have the problem to begin with. Yep. Then you don't have to freaking run through the circus to get it figured out. Yep. Or the money.
And it's just because I hung out with a couple of wrong dudes that because when you're young, you don't know any better. You think they're cool or whatever. They have all these fun things. And then, you get to the point and, I regrets for sure. Regrets. Yeah. But he'll grow out of it. I did.
I'm sure he will. Yeah, he's not.
He's
not
got way more
kid.
parental supervision.
He works his ass off. He's working like he works in airsoft. So he's like he referees like airsoft games. So
I used to play the crap out of airsoft.
Yeah, but he likes that crap. But I mean, he's leaving for college next month, so hopefully, there won't be any more issues. And then we just got one more kid to get out, and then we're good.
I think you got some issues still coming. College is a time where you start to learn yourself, and you learn you're not invincible.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. And speaking of other stupid things, well, it's not really that stupid, but I bought a car. We're talking about like saving money and then doing something ridiculous.
The car.
Yeah, I went in because my Jeep had some bubbling up of paint, which occurred near the hinges of the doors, and apparently it's like a known problem with their paint process. And so for that reason, they like warranty the body and the paint for like 6 years.
Okay.
So I didn't even realize, I'm like, when I was at the dealer, I'm like, is that normal? Like, is that is that paint over welding? Or is that like, I don't remember seeing that before. And they're like, oh no, that's not right. So they're like, hey, we'll fix that. No problem. We'll bring it to the body shop. We'll give you a loaner. It'll take about a week and a half because we have to basically strip and paint every door. Yep. And we'll cover
color match.
So I'm in there and I'm looking around, and the new 2024 Jeeps are in. Doctor salary. So I traded that one in and bought a new one. So I loved not having a car payment. So now I got to get that paid off as fast as possible.
Yes. That's me and the motorcycle right now.
How many years you got on that thing?
I pay $200 over my normal loan amount to chip away at it.
That's a good deal.
So I don't know, probably 3 years left or so, give or take.
Do you still have another car though?
Yeah, I have like a little Nissan Sentra.
You still have that?
No, the Escape gave to the ex.
Okay, so you had to buy that, or you had it?
I bought it.
Okay.
It was cheap. It was a couple grand. It's enough to give me. I look like a total dumbass in that car because I'm so big compared to how small it is. So when I get out, I make dad noises.
Yeah.
But once I get money situated, I'm gonna get an SUV again. I was looking at some SUVs and I like Jeeps. I like the old. Do you remember the old boxy Cherokees?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a couple of those out here that have low miles, and I'm like, I kind of want one of those. It's perfect for me. It's enough to get through the crappy weather, and I don't like newer cars because I don't like all the features. I don't care about all the features that they
Right.
have. It's not something I want to pay for. But I don't know. We'll see. I just need something that wasn't a motorcycle because if it rains or snows or
Yeah. What are you
it's
gonna
too
do?
windy or whatever, yeah, it's crazy. Plus,
Yeah.
that bike gets so hot that sometimes I'm just not in the mood to have my legs heat rashed. So, it's just something. It's just something. But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna have it for long. I'll get rid of it. I'll trade it in, and like I said, I would like a nice SUV or a truck again. I rented a F-150 XLT, which is like their base model. Holy cow! It was so comfortable,
Oh yeah.
and it was silent. It was smooth. The seats were nice. It had all these features at the base level. And I was like, dang, I'm going to buy one of these once I get things handled. I'm going to buy myself one of these base model F-150s. It was fantastic. It was a great truck. I've never been F-150 guy, but when I sat in it, just how comfortable it was, and because I had to drive it to Texas to pick up the bike.
Right.
And it was so comfortable. The ride was smooth and it was just quiet, especially in freeways. So I think that's probably what I end up doing is when I decide I want to take on an actual car loan again, I'm going to get an F-150 like that. Because I like having a truck bed.
What was the red truck?
An F-350.
Oh, okay.
It was a diesel. I won't buy a diesel again. I did my small PP time. It's just too expensive. Man, diesels are stoked. Even older diesels, newer diesels, they're so expensive to maintain, and they require a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
And Colorado winters are so hard on old diesels like that, and it would just sit and sit and sit. And when I'd go to start it up, it would be a challenge because it'd been sitting so long because I'm working at home. And no, I won't buy a diesel again. If I owned a bunch of land or something, I needed to tow weight, sure, but an F-150 is perfect. I can get my little dad projects at Home Depot, will fit in the bed of that, and
right.
I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah,
so
that's all that matters.
Maybe when ADS takes off, I'll buy like a sports car or something, or like an AMG. But
there you go.
Until then.
So how's that going for you? How's the man behind the man in the chair coding DevOps, which you love? How's that going?
It's there's a lot of learning. I've learned so much. And some of it's actually helped me in my normal day-to-day job. But it's daunting, man. It's super daunting. There's so much to do still. And sometimes it's actually hard to I'll work on something for hours and I'll go to bed. I'll get up the next day, when I finally get done with work and all the stuff I'm doing, when I want to sit down and work on the project, I'll get on, I'm like, where the fuck was I at? I have to go through my notes, and because it's like that's so big, there's so many pieces,
right?
That it's hard to get back into getting it all consumed in the brain again, and then start making progress on what you're working on because of just how monolithic everything is, and as well as handling the DevOps stuff in the meantime, and trying to get guys to learn these tools and support them, and not want to Bart Simpson choke, because I know it's not easy to learn some of these complex things. I know these are really complex systems we use, but we want to be professional business. We got to use the professional tools, and do it the professional way.
Right.
And, but yeah, it's been a lot, but I'm starting to see progress. What at one point just felt like a bunch of little pieces just everywhere, scattered everywhere. I'm starting to see them kind of connect together, and see things kind of piece right and do this and do that. And I'm probably only a month or so out from the first play test of the quick match, and I know you and I have to do some menu design and UI work, but it's going to go even better now that I got some stuff on the client side figured out. And yeah, so it's been a lot, plus learning the game engine and all their bugs and issues, and just all of everything in between. And Unreal is pretty I know people like there's like a 12-year-old who's like, oh, I made this whole game in a weekend, but for me, I'm not happy with just going, oh, this is what I need. I got to know why I need that. Why do I need this function? What does this function do? And how does it work? And so learning that engine at the roots it's a lot. It's been a lot, but I'd put Unreal Engine on my resume at this point because now I'm fairly comfortable with it.
Cool.
But
I mean,
I'm excited to do some level design and stop programming for just a minute.
Right. And that's the thing that I like is, it's like the whole reason why I did emergency medicine was basically that same mindset. It's like I thought I wanted to be ophthalmology. And I like, oh my God, look at this book.
Dr.
Like,
Glauco
here's
McFlecken.
cotton wool spots and this and that. And there's like, there's all these cool diagnoses and you can determine so many chronic medical conditions just by looking in someone's eye. And like, that's amazing.
Right.
And then you go and you do it in real life. And, you as a resident or a medical student, you get to like rotate in with these people. And literally, it was like the same, like 6 things.
Yep.
It's like glaucoma, macular degeneration, cataracts. It's like all the same stuff.
Yep.
And it was the only time in my life that I've ever fallen asleep standing up.
That's impressive.
I was in the operating room. It was on the umpteenth freaking like LASIK procedure. And I was like in
Those
the
are
dark,
scary.
in the corner. It's quiet. No one's saying anything. There's like yacht rock music playing in the background.
Just snore yourself awake.
Like, Hall & Oates real quiet in the background. And it's like dark. And I'm like, and they thought
like warm it, nice and cool,
Yeah, no, they thought they thought I was like passing out because of the surgery. And then they're like, maybe you should go home so you can go rest. I'm like, yeah, I think I'll go home because it was like, I went to bed. But it was, once I did that, I realized like I need a lot of variety because if you get stuck doing the same thing for too long, it's like, oh, I don't want to do that now. And then, but when it's a different thing, like, we just made it an in-house like teaser trailer because that will have to be part of advertising and stuff like that.
Looks good though, by the way.
Thank you. It took some of the edge off of like just doing like concept art and, it's putting stuff together, music and story and effects and, titles and logos and stuff. So, it felt like doing something completely different and it reinvigorates you if you do like fiddle with different things. Seeing things come together and getting to do different things, I think are the 2 big wins in that.
I'm a little lucky as the head engineer, and the only engineer, I guess, better said, as I get to jump between the client and this part of the server and this and that and this. But the thing is there's a lot of self-management where it's like, oh, I could continue because I do have ADHD. I could jump around every 10 minutes, do something different, but then the progress of things is so slow.
Right.
So I really force myself to buckle down and pinpoint on one specific thing and get that done. And but the client working on the client stuff's been great. But I am excited for the level design. I'm excited to clutter up in the map, and I'm excited to prove to you guys that we don't need outside help because I'm about to Kubrick the shit out of both those maps. It's gonna look great. And but no, I want, that's one of the things too why I was glad to kind of go from a CTO to the CPO is that CPO as the product guy, it's like I still get to have some design and creative mindset,
right?
Managing the product,
and that's fun.
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, obviously I'll do game development and engineering, but being in control of game development, I get that creative development still. And that's important to me because managing engineering is something I can do all day professionally and that kind of stuff, but I have a creative side. And so I'm excited to work with Chris and do the creative development and make sure that the game vision is meeting the company's expectations and what we want to present to the client or our customer, our consumer.
And it's interesting, like a lot of the guys on the team have a like a very kind of solid design mind that I'm not used to having a lot of people on a team like having that
creative mindset.
Like the original logo design, like it's perfect the way it is, and it's just it's interesting to see these people pull this stuff on. I'm like, wow, that's really good. I wouldn't change anything.
It's been great. No, I mean, even Astro and Chris and even not to jerk my own chicken, but some of my original concepts for the map with the mountains and the skyscrapers and the nighttime stuff. We have a lot of creativity, and which is, I think, really important, because one of the things that I preach in our business, kind of our business models, that we're trying to bring that artistic expression back to the gaming world.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so long robbed for a quick turnaround product. Everybody wants to make a quick buck, that games don't feel like this artistic, fun environment anymore. They just feel like just a product, in a sense, like a cookie cutter stamp, the umpteenth Call of Duty. And then you play a game like Stray, which was such a beautiful, unique game, lots of beautiful art. And you could tell there's a lot of creative, artistic expression in it. And the game was fun. It was fantastic. Right. And that seems to be the way games that are making a lot of money these days are just artistically unique, rather than the cookie cutter template,
Right.
Right. So I'm glad that we have that. And I'm glad it's all sprinkled in our leadership. And the one person who doesn't have a ton of creativity, Joe, I'm kidding. For the record, Joe has done all of our white box maps for the most part. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
The white box, the designs are fantastic.
Yeah. And just picked it up and just started doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this looks really good.
Yeah. It went great design ideas, stuff like that. But he's a great project business guy. So
yeah.
It leaves room for the creativity. But yeah, no, I'm it's crazy to think that. Have you seen that game Battle Bits? It just came out.
I think we talked. I was talking about this to somebody. It's kind of like Roblox.
It's like Roblox,
like with
Battlefield,
Battle Royale.
Oh, like Battlefield with Roblox in it. That company made $16.5 million in like 2-3 months.
16.5.
$16.5 million in gross revenue in
That's awesome.
2 months.
So were they an indie or no?
Yeah, it's an indie game. Like one dude made it. 1 or 2 dudes made the whole game. So to me, it's like, God, I mean, if we can release our product, which, I mean, we've already gotten raving reviews from the testing team. It's crazy to think in the next 6 to 8 months, we could have a product that's really making an income out there. Sometimes I have to really stop and evaluate that. That motivates me more than anything.
It does. It does. My wife was kind of laughing, at it when we first started doing it. And she's like, okay, you go do
they never take it serious.
You go do your game stuff, right? And I'm like, listen, gaming makes more money than the movie industry. And they're like, yeah, okay,
and the music industry,
right? You go do your game stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you'll see.
Yeah, until she sees some zeros in the account from that sweet ownership bonus that comes in.
Right.
Oh, we made $16 million in 4 months, so that's nice, But I'm scared too. I'm super scared. Because if it does take off like that, and all of a sudden there's an office and employees and stuff, I mean, how quickly you have to ramp up and take on this massive business position role and continue churning it out and things like that. And all of a sudden we have people managing, we have an office to be at, all that kind of stuff. It's like, I'm ready for it, but there's always a fear in taking on something so big and unknown the first time. Right. You know what I mean? And it's hard to think that we won't, because even Zero Hour made $6 million in a year. So, and that game is garbage. So I'm hard pressed to think that we're not going to make any money, that we won't have any success.
Right.
I don't think that's the case.
I think we'll do good. And it's like, yeah, it's the balance of that desire to stay in the pole position that you're in. Like if you start off doing really well, you don't ever want to. You don't want to lose any space. You don't want to lose momentum. So you want to try to what's going to be the next big thing, right?
Yeah.
So
which we have something. We have something in mind.
Yeah. But I mean, you always have to be thinking what's on the back burners, what's next. Can't rest on your laurels. But then again, you have big shoes to fill. So as long as you keep the core values of the company the same all the time, I think we'll do all right.
Yes, and additionally, some of the services that I've been building for the game and selling those off to businesses and license wise, that's got me anxious too, just how that's going to look. And it's going to be a crazy road, but I keep reminding myself, and I keep reminding the guys too, that hey man, nobody became a business successful financially. Nobody did that without really busting their ass and having to take on a lot of extra work. There's going to be many sleepless nights and a lot of stress and anxiety, and we're going to have to bust left and right, but at some point when you're sitting in your vacation home, you don't get to, you're not clumped in with the Bezos. Like, you worked really hard to get here.
Right.
You worked really hard for the success, and I think as we develop and mature, some of those things will become easier because we'll have people, the right people in the right positions, helping keeping everything moving the way that it needs to.
Right.
But for now, we're just a bunch of dudes who are playing business and making a product that, again, like I said, everybody in I mean, I had people reach out to me and say, like, this is fantastic. Everything looks so good. I'm so excited to see what this actually looks like. I'm like, you guys are just doing the white box testing. So, like, take a deep breath, and if they're that excited, I can only imagine when the end product comes out.
Right. It's gonna be funny, man. One of these days, you're gonna be on like IGN. You're gonna be giving interviews. You're gonna be.
We're all gonna be there.
You're gonna
just
be doing. You'll be there. You'll put on the big suit.
I'm gonna be Todd Howard. I'm gonna be the bearded Todd Howard or whatever. Like E3,
right?
Like they do those cringy things where, like, Joe goes on the stage and talks for a minute, and then I go and talk for a minute, and then you go and talk for a minute. You know what I mean? So we'll have to do that kind of stuff. But no, I can't wait. I can't wait to make it my full-time job, and actually think some part of me will be a little more relaxed when I finally am doing this full-time, because I can actually put real time and energy into things, and work on it with a fresh mind, in the morning, stuff like that. So,
and you won't have other side things to clutter it, which will be nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the dream.
Office, what are we gonna do?
This is the dream.
Are you gonna come to Colorado with the office?
Well, I'll come to the office. Don't worry about that.
Are you gonna? Yeah, because I know James. He even talked to his wife. He's gonna move out here.
Oh, really?
He's gonna come out and get his visa and everything and live in Colorado when the office comes up from the UK.
That's awesome.
I'd be interested to see how that goes out. But
right.
But Joe's gonna move here and Chris is gonna move here. They're all gonna move here and we put an office together. So
that's fine.
Just you, Doc.
That's fine, man.
Joyzy.
All I do is gotta wait till we get one more kid out to college, and then it's just the two of us.
Then you can sell that giant mansion of yours at Jersey cost.
I can't wait to get rid of this thing.
Come buy a giant mansion in Colorado. That's probably not that much different than Jersey cost.
Really? What's the I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I want to know what, like, your local taxes are, like, on a mortgage, on a home.
Oh, so Colorado
property.
has interesting taxes for that stuff because we have mill levies, and we could do a whole podcast on how mill levies work. They're like little sanctioned areas of a county in cities, and each one of them gives a certain value. You have to add up all the mill levies within your property, and then you'd use some math, and that determines your percentage of property tax and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's a little complex, but a lot of times your realtor and the banks and stuff will make it easier for you. But it's expensive to live here. But when you get here and you look out your window and you have the Flatirons or those mountains, you get kind of understand, and the temperate climate. Even if it does get in the hundreds here, not really, like the mid 90s, it's dry. It's dry, and then at night it's 60 degrees. What's it like to live in a place where it can be hot during the day, but then by 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, it's 60 degrees outside. You go open your windows, you have a cool breeze. You know what I mean?
We call that Vegas.
So, yeah, we have a lot less hookers.
Yeah.
And drunks in the streets, unless you're in Denver.
Not to mention, like, Vegas was so hot, man. I remember the first time I went to Vegas, I like paused going across the street in like 105-degree heat, and my sandals like started to melt to the blacktop, and I literally had to like pull my feet up off the ground, or I was going to be stuck on the road.
So I know that, well, just the last thing, because I know we're running out of time, but I know James I know you were talking about TwitchCon, but James said he wanted to really meet up with the whole team, and we were talking about like all meeting up in Missouri or coming here, because I was like, we should come to Colorado because this is where the home of the company is. But I'm kind of thinking maybe we should just do a Vegas.
Well, TwitchCon is Vegas.
I know, but like without the TwitchCon, like just a team meetup in Vegas.
Doesn't matter. We could do anyone. I thought that Gambo wanted to not go out that far, but I'm not sure.
Well, he got some time. We'll talk about it in the ranks, but
we'll figure it out.
I would love to see some drunk British people in Vegas. That'd be an experience to to record. Make a good dev blog.
It would definitely would. Definitely do it.
Hey, Diablo anytime soon? Because I've not played that game at all. Waiting for you.
So yeah, I know. I haven't played it now. Waiting for you too.
It's my fault, guys. Really not his. It's my fault.
You know what's funny? This is how busy we are with this project. Just to kind of like give an aside, I have to interview Damon to find out how he's doing with his work on this podcast, because otherwise we really don't have that much time to talk about it. It's just
I'm
like
pretty heads
meeting
down.
and getting stuff done and moving on.
Yeah, it's plus life.
Yeah,
Life wants all your time, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, we should do Diablo soon. I really want to play that game.
Are you around Tuesday?
I am around Tuesday. Yes, I'll be free.
My only day off.
Let's. You want to do like 7 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time, or 6 o'clock my time?
See. I might be. I don't know. Oh no, yeah, I'm off. I can probably do that.
What time works best? Because I work until probably around 3, 4. Then I got stuff I got to do. You know, animal cleanup and putter and take care of some different things. I also need I just need to be off the computer for an hour.
Yeah, like 9 or 10 o'clock my time.
Perfect. Yeah,
we'll do that.
Perfect. And Tuesday, I'll write that down because I need a break from everything, anyways.
Right. You need to make time for yourself, but you don't want to like go crazy. Like Jack Nicholson.
I'll get there. When we release, I plan to take like a week and just not exist.
Yeah.
In like a dark room somewhere.
Yeah. I'm gonna bring my PC and my Mac to do work, but I'm gonna be going to the Jersey Shore this Saturday through next Thursday. So I will hit the meeting. I will be available for the meeting.
Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Makes me think of MTV.
I know. My favorite. I never watched an episode of Jersey Shore ever, but my favorite meme from the Jersey Shore. It literally had a book like falling off the edge of a bookshelf. And it said, every time you watch an episode of the Jersey Shore, a book commits suicide.
Seriously? Oh, it's so Guido, but it's fake Guido. It's rough.
They exist rough down there. It's great. They exist.
Yeah.
It's basically everything about Italians that Italians are embarrassed of.
Yeah.
You know, like, hey,
hate.
You got pretty big
fucking
bulls,
guy.
Hey. You know what? You talking to me like what? What?
What's a grinder? Is that an app? We have subs. We don't grinders here. This is Joyzy. Yeah.
Yeah. And the feathered hair and the tan and the
just too much.
Yeah.
In the nightclubs.
It is.
Yeah.
I never went to a Jersey nightclub. I never will. I'm actually from Pennsylvania, so I wasn't born here.
The Italians are bad there too. I know. My Italian family's from Pennsylvania.
My dad got my mom's wedding ring from a different mobster in Pennsylvania. He was actually there was a movie called it was from the book I Heard You Paint Houses. So I Heard You Paint Houses. It was it was Netflix. What's his name came out Pesci came out of retirement to do it on Netflix.
Oh,
The Irishman.
Yes.
That's about Northeast Pennsylvania. So that guy is in the movie. My dad bought my mom's engagement ring from him. And I asked my dad if the finger was still in the ring when he got it.
There's always every Italian family, especially on the True Blood side, always has some. Like if we look at old childhood videos of mine, like every time the grandpas would show up, they're like still in the suits, quietly back, far away from the family at a table.
Yeah,
all sitting around talking, and you're like, what's going on over there, huh? Why is there like one light over that table? What's going on?
That's guy stuff. They're talking guy stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyways,
all right, guys.
Well, guys,
thanks for tuning in. This is what was this, episode 4, right? Episode 4, season 2. So we got
2.
like this is the 14th show, not including specials. So we got like 16 or 17 episodes. So,
and the delay to get to this one is my fault, guys.
That's
I
okay.
pushed Doc off.
That's okay.
Abandoned him.
I know what he's doing.
He does. He knows where I'm at most of the time.
I do. It's on Discord. It's all on Discord.
Sadly, half the time I plan it and then like I'll lay down for a second because I'm like, okay, I'm ready, and then I pass the fuck out and I'm like, I wake up, I'm like, oh no, it's like 2 a.m. Yeah.
That's okay. And for 2 a.m. for him, it's like 5 a.m. for me. So
yeah,
I'm getting up for work. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We will catch you on the next one. Have a good night.